So guys, I'm back at the Isle of Man. I'm not really. We're going back and looking at some of the footage back at the Isle of Man. Unfortunately, when I went to the Isle of Man, a lot of things went wrong, which we're going to discuss in this video. It was a bit shit. The whole trip ended just terribly, which we'll talk about. And unfortunately, the videos never came out well either. I never even finished them. I was editing while I was at uni, and nothing, the whole year was just a bit of a shit show. So we're back. We're gonna have a look at them, and we're gonna talk about them a little bit and to explain what's going on. So in this first clip, we'll start it again. This was on night 1, so it just come off the ferry. You can see the parts 1 and 2. They're on the channel. You can see them. They're a bit well edited and things. But unfortunately, part 2, there's no audio, and part 3, if there was going to be one, which is kind of this one, I suppose, there's no audio at all. And I'll explain everything. So yeah, we're just talking about kind of being a one-man tent all set up. We'll just pause it right here. So this one-man tent, it's actually a two-man tent, I think. But why I'm on my own, for starters, the whole trip was planned with one of my other mates. Unfortunately, the accommodation all kind of got messed up, and they booked a place. There was a group of them, and unfortunately I didn't get a place. So I ended up on my own. I had to sort my own accommodation out, and I found a last-minute one, and so I was on my own in this field, which was just shit. If you're on holiday, you want to be surrounded by friends and family, well, friends and family at least, or something. You don't want to be there on your own. It's just a bit awkward. Didn't really know what was going on, what I was doing. It was my first time over the island. It's just a bit awkward and a bit lonely at times, because especially as you can see in this clip, the weather the whole time was terrible. If you haven't seen the 2019 Isle of Man, go have a look at some of the clips, because there are really none. Because there was hardly any races. It rained the whole time. I didn't actually see one race in the end. It was a good experience. I still enjoyed myself. But yeah, being the weather as shit as it was, which I can finally show you how bad it was in a minute when we go over the mountain, because I actually did get to go over the mountain. You'll see how bad it is later on in the video, but there was not a lot you could do. I was taking trips to the shops, trips to Mackey's, doing little rides here and there, but the weather was so bad, you got to try and dry your stuff off. There's nowhere to dry it off. You're in a one-man tent. We had showers and stuff, but I just felt dirty the whole time. That was like kind of the main points from day 1. Obviously just getting off the ferry, you can go check that bits out. Day 2, you can already see I'm just feeling a bit down, a bit dirty, just a bit horrible. I then get to meet up with my friend, and we went on a little ride out, which was nice, kind of being able to show where, he knows the island a bit better than I do. We got to ride round and kind of, I got to learn the roads and where all the meet up points were and things like that. And then, well, you can see right here on this clip, the mountain road was closed, so we couldn't even go over the mountain that day, and it was constant like that because of how bad the weather conditions were. And then we get on to part 3, which is what none of you guys seen. So this was my setup that you can see here. Literally that tent, I had my bike there, I had it so close to me, constantly charging my power packs to try and charge the GoPro. I had this new helmet that I bought for the Isle of Man. For one, this is more of a summertime helmet. I mean, I'm wearing it now, but it's one of those. Unfortunately, the audio never worked. I can't remember what camera I had back here. I don't know. I want to say it was the Hero 5, and it was with the whole new mic adapter and getting a mic to fix it, work with it, and it never worked. I've now turned. You have to turn the camera on first, then press record, and it seems to work with the camera with the mic I've got. So again, we don't have any audio, so I thought, you know what, we'll just go out. I've done nothing. I literally did nothing the day before I was that ride, and then it was just, that ride, it looks like I've had a whole day, but it's literally, we went for an hour and a half of a ride, and then the rest of the day I'm either walking around a field doing absolutely nothing on my own, or sat in my tent. So it was really shit, because the weather was so bad, you just couldn't do anything. I had no one to go to the pub with. I didn't know what to do with myself. It was just lonely. So I decided today, on this day, I was Gonna go for a quick spin. Now, I've lost my days, really. I don't know if this was... I mean, you can see from the field conditions how bad it was. Like how bad the rain and everything was. You've seen in the clips as well. But yeah, I can't remember if this is actually day 3 or not. I don't know if this is early day 2. The footage kind of got muddled up because I didn't stay the whole time. I was meant to stay the whole week, and I left early because there was literally nothing for me to do. There's no races going on. I couldn't watch anything. I explored everything I possibly could on my own, and it got to the point where there was no point me staying any longer, and I thought I would just go home. So I ended up leaving early in the end, which I wasn't the only person. A lot of people did. So yeah, we finally get a chance to go out, and what I'll do, guys, if you want to see kind of a whole unedited clip, obviously the audio is going to be terrible, but I'll put an unlisted video in the description, so you can go click on it and check out kind of the whole behind the scenes, like the whole trip in general. The audio is going to be terrible. I'm not going to put any music over it, so it literally is wind noise. It literally is this. So it's not fantastic, okay? Not the high quality, but yeah, I kind of wanted to explain what was going on because the Isle of Man videos never really came out, and it was all a bit awkward. So I wanted to do a little voiceover and explain what was going on. But we did actually ended up getting, I went a bit green laning at one point, but we finally did actually, I stopped off at a few places, met up with a couple of people, got to ride around a little bit, which was quite nice, actually, chilling with a few people. We finally got onto the mountain route, and the mountain was open, and I just played this little bit of where we're going up to the mountain. So as you can see, I'm following a group here. Now, you got to remember, this was back when the Gixxer didn't run very well. I ended up taking the whole bike apart and changing the fuel pump and the fuel filter and the spark plugs and doing like a whole major service myself after this trip because the bike ran terribly, especially at high altitudes. It was really weird. And it kept jerking. So you might see in the videos where I've got full power and the power comes off and it suddenly comes back on. It's a really scary moment. And you actually see it over the mountain. My bike will actually cut out. So you got to think, I'm already down and depressed. The weather's terrible. My bike's cutting out, and now I'm stuck at the top of the mountain with people going unrestricted speeds. It is crazy. But look at it. Look at this place. It is beautiful. This is literally the only sun we've got the whole time. And I thought, finally, but my bike kept cutting out and shit. It just ended up being everything wrong that could have happened was happening. But it's so weird, being able to use the whole road because it's a one-way system. Such a weird concept. But I wish my bike had been running so much better because I would have been like that guy and just absolutely enjoying it. So I will definitely be back at some point. I would definitely be back to actually enjoy it fully, and hopefully on the new bike. That's what I'd hope. I've got some big plans for the new bike, and some big trips. So this is definitely one that I want to go back to and really experience it. Even if it's shit weather, I want to be with friends in the same location, being able to go over the mountain just like this. Okay, we're going to skip forward a little bit. As again, if you want to see the whole clips, link in the description. Okay, I'll have little time codes as well that you can go check out, kind of the best zone, the best times and what happened. But for now, we're just kind of the backstory over it. So this is what the mountain was look like. At the top of the mountain now, looks pretty good. My bike's not running right at all. It's terrible. But yeah, I know I can still get to speeds like this. And then all of a sudden, the fog rolls in, it starts pissing down with rain, and it just becomes a shit show. As you can see, I've got my tinted visor on. If you've ever ridden with a tinted visor in the fog, not a good idea. Look how weird this is though. You got to imagine the guys doing this at like 200 miles an hour. Mental. It's such an incredible thing to actually think about, and when you've actually been there, you can really appreciate it. There you go. You can see there my bike cutting out and doing that. Not a fun experience. You'll see in a minute that bike actually completely cuts out all the lights, everything. It just didn't want to run anymore, and I was like, I'm getting stuck up here. This is shit. But as you can see, look at the visibility now. You got to think the people over here are doing like 100 miles an hour along this mountain, like just normal people, not trained racers, nothing. Just a normal day-to-day. Your mate down the pub called Bob. He's going up along this 100 miles an hour. some people are absolutely crazy and will go a lot faster than that, and you think in this conditions they'll be going faster than that, and you're like, you can't see 6 feet ahead of you. Okay, this GoPro isn't making it look any worse or any better. This is literally what you could see. Okay, and in a minute you'll see, well, we'll skip forward a little bit. That's what I could see on my visor. Okay, this is what I could see, and you got people going flying speeds. It is mental. But guys, that is the backstory. I'll throw in a little more clips here and there. But that's, I wanted to explain this, the Isle of Man, because it never really came out. That's what happened. But don't think I hated the trip. I still enjoyed myself. I still experienced it. I'm sorry this isn't a fun video, but it's a video I felt like I needed to make to explain it. I've not really got any questions about it, but I've just felt like I needed to finish this. It never got finished. I felt like I needed to finish it. So apologies for that. Apologies if you didn't enjoy the video. Normal videos, as I said, will keep coming out with this lockdown. I'm trying to get videos done, but you know, people are doing their own thing in lockdown and protecting each other, which is, you know, completely understandable, and I'm trying to do the same. So it's hard to try and get footage with a load of mates, and obviously we're in winter now, so it's a bit shit. When the new bike comes, hopefully I can do the build series and it'll all be okay. But for now, guys, I'll leave you with a few clips. Have a wonderful day. I appreciate the views. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. We're chasing up the Spiky Biker, remember. We gotta catch him, we gotta overtake him, okay? I gotta become the biggest motor vlogger in the UK. It's gonna happen. Making it happen. Alright? With your help, we're gonna make it happen. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one. And peace.